Court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Martinez. Now parties announced for the record for the state.
Jason Gearhand for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Lawmaker for Ms. Martinez.
And are you Yvette Martinez?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you understand that you're charged with intoxication assault as a third-degree felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? Court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and an up to $10,000 fine.
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has indeed.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on count 1. They're asking your punishment be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,500 fine. State opposes your application for deferred adjudication. They recommend community supervision. There's to be restitution, if any, to Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas. Also, you are to stipulate that on or about January 7th, 2022, you were at Pockets, a billiards bar and restaurant located at 5819 Northwest Loop 410, San Antonio, Texas, 78238, where you were drinking alcohol beverages and only consumed alcohol beverages at that location, then left the location driving your vehicle, and you drove your vehicle into a vehicle occupied by Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense?
We do.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 10 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, ignition interlock for half the term of probation, and 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offense is charged in count 1. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
No objection, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. I'm going to request a PSI and TAP evaluation, and you will be back here on August 3rd. At that time, I will make a decision on your application based upon the PSI report and any other evidence that's submitted. You understand?
Yes.
We can go off the record. So is she on any type of device?
I like monitoring.
I'd like to monitor, Judge.
All right, thank you. Probation will let you know what you need to do, and Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset.
Your Honor, does that leg monitor need to remain until August the 3rd?
Oh, yes. Okay. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further from us, Judge.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I just want to tell you that I feel awfully bad for what I've done. I am sorry, Your Honor, and I learned from my mistakes. I would never do this again. This is embarrassing, and I have 2 kids, and I want to be the life for them, and I just.
Okay, what I will tell you
I'm
is.
sorry. That's all.
No. What I will tell you is this, and I tell this to everybody. These are not mistakes. These are choices that people
Choices,
made.
Yes.
So it's a bad choice that you've made, but it's not a mistake. Okay.
I
All
meant
right.
to say the choice, yes.
All right. No problem. I understand. Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Gearhand.
for the defense?
Jonathan Chavez for Ms. Martinez.
Are you Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
All right. This case has been rescheduled more than once. And it was due to the fact that Ms. Martinez's attorney that is listed on the record, Kenton Longacre, was unable to appear. And so it was reset for today. The court will note that each time this case has been set, the complainant has appeared. So the court informed Matt.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so what is the status?
Your Honor, the attorney who has been assigned, we have been unable to contact him for the past 3 weeks. We have spoken with both the state and Ms. Martinez, and we're comfortable with going forward with sentencing today.
All right, Ms. Martinez. Are you prepared to proceed? You're gonna need to speak up.
Yes,
All right, and you're prepared to proceed with these attorneys?
yes.
All right. So in this case, you entered a plea of guilty to count 1 on June 5th. The court requested a PSI and TAP evaluation. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI and TAP evaluation? State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI or TAP evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
And I forgot to put this part on the record. Ms. Martinez, have you had ample time to speak with the current attorneys?
Yes,
Okay. You entered a plea bargain agreement. According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment was to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication. They are recommending community supervision. There is to be restitution to the complainants in the case. And there are stipulations about your location. Did you understand that as the plea?
yes.
Okay. Counsel, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we just ask that you follow along with the plea agreement of the 10 years probation.
Okay. State,
Your Honor, the state is in agreement following the rec here, Judge, opposed to the deferred, and also to follow the tax recommendations.
And that's correct, Your Honor.
all right,
Your Honor, may I speak with well, may I speak with the client real quick?
yes,
Thank you. Something's just been brought to my attention.
Okay.
Just a brief moment.
sure. Counsel, have you had ample time to review things with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, we actually wanted to update the court. There are some things in the PSI that I believe we would like to object to as far as statements that were made.
Oh, sure.
But also there was an overlook on my part that SATF residential treatment was the recommendation. There were 2 options and I overlooked that. So Mr. Garahan pointed that out.
Yes.
And that's what I pointed out to the client. And I would ask the court at this time for more time for sentencing, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Ferguson, wherever Kenneth Longacre is, he needs to be here. So, does anybody have his number? I will call him. All right. If you will text me his number, and if he wants to appear by Zoom, he can appear by Zoom. But this case is going to happen today. The complainant keeps coming down every single time. I know Ms. Martinez keeps coming down every single time.
I think just myself personally being ineffective for arguing.
No, I understand. Thank you. All right, Mr. Longacre is here.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize. I didn't know I was set today.
No, you were set today.
I believe it. I just was unaware of it.
All right, and this case was previously set before then. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Canton Longacre for Ms. Martinez.
All right. And are you Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Any objections to Mr. Longacre appearing by video, state?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any objection to your attorney appearing by video?
No.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
I have not, Judge. I have not seen it.
All right, so, Mr. Longacre, where are you located? Are you downtown?
No, I'm not. I'm at home ill.
All right, does somebody want to forward the PSI report to his email? If you could do that for me, please. Thank you. All right, just have a seat.
Thank you, Judge. I'll review it. I'll be right back.
No, the court is taking its break at noon, everyone. So everyone will have to come back. Mr. Longacre, you're going to be back here at exactly 1 p.m., not 1:05, not 1:02, 1 p.m.
I hear you loud and clearly, Judge. I'll be here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you entered a plea on June 5th to count 1 of guilty, count 2 was waived. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at 10 years in the prison. State is recommending community supervision, opposing deferred adjudication, and there's restitution. And you're to stipulate that you were at Pockets Billiards.
Your Honor,
Yes.
to clarify one thing, did you say that the state is recommending straight probation?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any witnesses from the state or the defense?
No witnesses from the state, Your Honor. It'd just be a victim impact.
All right, defense, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I do, Judge. First of all, Ms. Martinez has virtually no prior criminal convictions of any kind. This is her first felony offense. She has 2 children, ages 2 years and 7 years. She had lived here in San Antonio, presently lives in Pleasanton, Texas. The reason is, in addition to being abused as a child, between the ages of 7 and 12 or 13 or so by her parents, she was subject to both physical and sexual abuse by an uncle of hers while she was living with whom she was living here in San Antonio. That continued for, like I say, nearly a 4-year period. Finally, it culminated in the uncle apparently assaulting her and her children with a broom. So she left to go to a shelter, which happened to be located in Pleasanton. I had advised her before and again advised her today to apply for a protective order. And today in our conversation, I asked her to do it today before she left the courthouse. She's still being stalked by this individual. He, for instance, knows she has court today. He may even be present in the courtroom. I don't know. In any event, she moved to Pleasanton to go to a shelter where she now lives. She's obtained a job at Savannah Suites, a hotel there in Pleasanton. She's a housekeeper. Her income is limited to about $1,200 a month as a housekeeper. Children are on Medicaid, WIC, and food stamps. Pocket Billiards was indeed the only entity or person that served her alcohol that day. She had, according to her, she had not drank prior to going to Pocket, was there for a couple hours. I've seen the TAP report. It recommends inpatient treatment. As to that, of course, item 1 of an alcohol abuser or alcoholic is denial. And initially, Ms. Martinez did not believe she has an alcohol problem. Given what has occurred in this horrific situation that could have been worse even, she acknowledges that she does indeed have a problem with alcohol. She has been she's never been to treatment of any type before, in or outpatient. She just started a few months back going to Alcoholics Anonymous on my recommendation, and she's continuing to do that. We're asking the court to consider an intensive outpatient program, given that she's never been in treatment before. And that inpatient treatment could be put on hold, and if she were to violate, perhaps then instituted. I'm not clear on one of the recommendations is that she have an interlock for 2 years. A second is that her driver's license be suspended for 2 years. I don't recall the exact number. The alcohol blood level was high, to be sure, and the offense is egregious, to be sure. Whether she is statutorily required to be suspended for 2 years, I'm not clear on that, but they've asked for both an interlock for 2 and a suspension for 2. Given Ms. Martinez's true remorse for what has occurred, and the horrific injuries suffered by Mr. Casas and his son as well, and indeed it could have resulted in their death. We're asking the court to consider favorably consider our request rather for probation. 10 years is a long time, Judge, to be under anyone's oversight, including yours. We're asking the court to consider a shorter period than 10 years. Ms. Martinez is 40 years old. She's gone to some lengths to better her life and escape the abuse she's been the subject of for a considerable time. She has but a 9th grade reading level, according to the assessment, and she's working hard to get back on her feet, do well by her children as best she can. Indeed, if Mr. Casas does, as I certainly expect he shall, file a civil suit, he will not only sue her, but certainly pocket billiards the server. Given her income level, his hope of financial recovery to cover his extraordinary, I'm sure it's a couple $100,000 as I'm sitting here, medical expenses. Indeed, it would be the server rather than the consumer who would have the resources and the insurance coverage to pay for that. Given all that, we're asking Your Honor to respectfully request that the period of probation be considerably shorter than the 10-year period, with any restrictions it might find necessary to add. Thank you.
So, Ms. Martinez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Yvette Martinez.
All right, where are your children?
My children, my daughter's with my son, my daughter's with the grandma of my husband, Robert, back here.
Okay.
And my son is with his dad, which I don't want him there because he has a problem with, drugs, just to be honest, so I'm kind of scared. I don't want him there too long, I want to get him out of there as soon as possible.
You're
I
going
just
in,
had nobody else to watch him.
you're going into inpatient treatment today. So we recently learned of a new program. I'll Do New Things Ministries. So they may be able to speak to you quickly. We can also try lifetime recovery, but it's going to be while in custody. This is a very serious offense. People could have died. I'm concerned that you don't believe you have an alcohol problem because it appears from everything that I'm reading that you do.
I do, and
Okay.
I take full responsibility for
Okay.
what I did. It was wrong, and I'm gonna pay for it.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take you into custody today. Mr. Longager, if you would like to call are you pregnant?
No.
Okay, if you would like, and the only reason why I asked that is because it was suggested to me that maybe you were, and I would like the deputy to know that, because if you are, they don't handcuff you behind.
Oh,
Okay, so that's why I asked, not that you look pregnant at all. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna find you guilty. I'm gonna sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. There's a $2,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be restitution to Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete parenting classes, the restitution will be deemed satisfied. Ignition and interlock for half the term, 2-year driver's license suspension. You are stipulating that on or about January 7, 2022 at Pockets located at 5819 Northwest Loop 410, San Antonio, Texas 78238. You consumed alcoholic beverages, and Pockets was the only establishment that you assumed alcohol beverages that day. Then you drove a vehicle into a vehicle occupied by Julio Casas Jr. and Cameron Casas Jr. Going to have regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs, referral to lifetime recovery, or I'll do New Things Ministries.
Judge, could you spell that, please? Did you say all?
I apostrophe WL do DO new NEW thing THING Ministries MINISTRIES.
Thank you. Is that here in San Antonio?
Yes, it is. There'll be regular reporting by, I already said regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And the UAs, make sure they test for alcohol. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days upon release. Field visits 1 time per month for 4 months, and then thereafter random as probation sees fit. Is there anything else that she needs probation?
Your Honor, the field visits after,
Release from inpatient.
however, she lives in Atascosa County.
Well, she's going to have to call in at least once a month for 4 months to probation
Or,
reporting. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Probation, anything else she needs?
did you want to do, DWI intervention or education?
Yes, thank you so much. Let's do DWI education and DWI intervention and do the VIP live. All right. Anything else from either side?
Nothing on direct.
Anything else you need?
Oh, I just, yeah, I guess they'll better explain to me what I did, or, my sentencing.
Oh, probation is going to go over everything with you, okay?
Ms. Martinez, if you should have any questions that probation can't answer, you're certainly welcome to call me. Is there anyone you would like me to call?
Yeah, if they could call my daughter's father behind Robert.
All right, we'll let them know because probation is right here. Is there anything else you need to be successful?
I just want to say that I'm sorry and that it was an evil act that I did. And I'm glad that he's alive. I know he suffered a lot. I can imagine what he went through. Not being able to walk, being in a wheelchair, just not being able to work. You know, I got what I deserve today. In the name of Jesus of Nazareth, I ask God to just to help me through this because I feel bad.
All right.
I knew better and I made the choice, like you said.
Well, I will tell you this. I appreciate your saying that because you will not believe the number of people who I have before me who really don't internalize the suffering that they've caused others. So I appreciate that. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you have a chance to review that with your attorney and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney, okay? All right, thank you so much.
And Judge, the last thing off the record, we just need to make an check.
All right.
Well, because I went through a lot of pain and I'm still going through pain. I know you have kids, but I'm a son to my mother and I'm there for my mother and she depends on me. And you took that away for a good long time. And even now, I have a son. You could have killed him. If it wasn't for a split second that we broke because we saw you, he would have been dead. I would have possibly been dead. And you wouldn't have remembered any of this. You wouldn't have known anything that happened. You would have been like, well, I don't know what happened. You were intoxicated. You know, in the long run, I think you're getting off easy. You could have gone to jail for killing us. For, you know, I'm disabled. I can't run. I can't swim. I can't horseback ride. I can't get on a bicycle. At least not yet. And I have pain right now. I have pain. I have swelling. Every night, I have nightmares. I hit the brakes in my dreams, and it hurts. I was on pain medications for 10 months. I was in the hospital for a month. I had 3 surgeries. They still want to do 2 more surgeries. I'm scared because I don't want to lose my leg. They thought I was going to lose my leg. I've been thinking about this day for over a year and a half. And every time I think about it, I get real anxious and I start having chest pain. I can't sleep at night. I thought seeing you in court would be easier. Things made it worse. I never looked at you until today. I know you knew who I was after you found out that I was here in court the last few times. I never looked at you. I couldn't. I had a lot of hate toward you. In the end, I just wanted this to end. I don't want to come to court anymore. It's affected my mom. It's affected me going to family celebrations. It's affected me going to even the simplest things as going to a restaurant to eat because I couldn't, because I had an IV bag going into my heart for months because they thought I was going to become septic and die. And if that would have happened, guess what? That would be manslaughter. I feel for you, but you know, like I said, at least you're going to be able to physically do things where I can't anymore. I'm affected for life.
You're welcome. Court is calling 2023 CR 1876, State of Texas versus Yvette Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Glenn Payne for the defense.
All right, and are you Miss Martinez?
Yes.
All right, we are here for you to, you're requesting a bond be set, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke
Okay.
with the district attorney's office. We
Well,
agreed to-
let's start here. Why does she have need a bond to be set?
You know, she currently has gotten a employment with Conduit. It's a,
No. Why is she in custody? That's
oh,
what
she has an MTR.
All right, so she has a motion to revoke. All right. So you're requesting a bond. And let me see. Is she on deferred?
No, Your Honor, she's on regular probation.
So she's on regular probation, so technically she is not entitled to a bond. So I'll hear whatever evidence you want to present. State, have you had a chance to review the motion for bond?
Yes, sir.
And are you ready?
Bond, yes, sir.
Motion for a bond? And are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, do you have any objections to a bond being set? All right,
Your Honor, I just have argument to the court or statement to the court.
sure.
Spoke with the district attorney's office. We've agreed a $20,000 bond if that's acceptable in court, of course. Miss Martinez is the mother of 2 children. She just recently got employment with Conduit, which is a telecall.
Telemarketing.
She's been working there. She hasn't been employed very long, just a month or so, correct?
Yes, sir.
So she's spoke with her employers. They understand she's trying to do this so she can get back to work. She's actually scheduled to work this weekend. This is why we came into the court this morning. There are some issues that I do need to do research on and speak to my client about before we handle this MTR. Since she's started correcting and making positive motion on the MTR, we'll be asking the court to grant the $20,000 bond.
All right, what are the allegations in the motion to revoke?
Most of the allegations, Your Honor, are testing on the portable breath test. And I think she didn't apply for her classes. But we think there's an issue with the.
All right, does anyone have a copy of the motion to revoke?
No, Judge, we're trying to get that for you.
Sorry, Jed, I only have it on my phone if you want to entertain that.
No, that's okay.
No.
Does she have a vehicle?
She does not have, you don't own a vehicle, right? She doesn't have a vehicle.
No, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Yvette Martinez.
All right, do you have a vehicle?
I do not.
All right, why was there this long pause?
I'm not driving it, but there is a vehicle under my name, so one of my family members could drive the car. But it's for me until I get out of probation.
Where is this vehicle?
It's at my uncle's house.
Does she have access to the vehicle?
Yeah, my understanding she does. She gets help from a friend that drives her and Roger.
Yes.
And he is present, but he's in shorts. So I left him in the hallway.
So do you have access to the vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's state, are you aware that she has access to a vehicle?
There you are.
All right, do y'all want to reconfer over what you all think the conditions on this bond should be?
Yeah, we're not objection. Since the vehicle's in her name, I'm not aware that we can agree to ignition interlock on the vehicle.
Do y'all want to confer? Off the record? All right, if you all will step back and confer, and we'll come back. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 1876 State versus Yvette Martinez. Have both parties had a chance to confer on the bond issue?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, any changes or requests for changes?
Only the addition of ignition interlock on the vehicle.
All right, and for the record, the court is aware of Ms. Martinez's any drug issues or mental health issues because she's on probation for this court. And those are things that I need to address when setting the bond. All right, the bond will be set at $20,000. I'm going to ignore order ignition interlock. Ignition interlock must be installed. So no later than Tuesday, August 6th. Do you need any other conditions set for you so that you can be successful on bond and on probation?
I just need to be able to, the device that I had, I was blowing into it. I know that's like already far gone, but I think it was like malfunctioned or something like that.
All right, let me just tell you,
Oh.
I'm not taking any of the violations in
Oh, that's right.
the motion to revoke is true. I just needed that to view that in order to set conditions. But allegations in your motion to revoke is that you have been skipping tests. So skipping tests does not equal a malfunction of the machine. That's you not testing. Do you understand?
Yes,
So the judge asked, do you need any other help while on this bond as a condition?
as far as the phone.
Just as the.
All right,
bond.
and we need to set this for hearing. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
I need a date.
August 19th.
August 19th, this case will be heard, and if it's going to be contested, it will be on August 19th. Ms. Ferguson, if you'll give her a reset form, please. All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome.